Hey gang, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys making some time out of your day to watch the video. And today we're going to be talking about these big, giant, oversized crankbaits in the summertime of the year. Not for deep fishing, but for shallow water fishing, and how they're sort of developing a sort of a cult following around the country. So I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to tell you how to fish them, what to look for, and give you guys some good juice on that. A couple quick housekeeping tips before we get started here. Just wanted to remind everybody, if anyone's interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me right now or up until this fall, just shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Block at Professional Angler, booking trips right now. And also, if you guys get a chance, click on that View Products tab at the bottom of the video when the video first comes on. And if you open that up and click on any products that I suggest on there, the channel gets 20 cents every time you click on some of that. So it's a good way to help support the channel here if you're inclined to do so. Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about the Megabass Big M 4.0 crankbait. Or there's some other big ones out there too. There's some other oversized crankbaits, but this is the one that everybody's fishing right now and not talking about it. Over the past 2 or 3 years, there's been a group of guys down at Grand Lake that have been crushing them on this thing and not saying a peep about it. And also there's been some guys catching them on some of the TVA lakes on it. So I'm going to go into this a little bit about why it's so effective. First of all, this Big M 4.0, it's sort of like a oversized square bill. It works the same, but it's a lot more versatile than that. Even though it's got a fairly small lip on it, this bait will get down to close to 10 foot deep if you throw it on 10 or 12 pound test line. And you can also shallow crank it if you have the right equipment. So basically there's a couple different ways that I fish this thing, and a couple different ways they're catching those big ones at Grand. A lot of the guys that are catching these big fish at Grand like right now on this thing is they take it and they put it on 25 pound test fluorocarbon with almost like a flipping stick, a big heavy rod, and they're casting it around those shallow flatter points, rocky banks, that type of stuff, and burning this thing sort of in that 4 to 8 foot zone. And it's just the combination of the slow roll action of this thing, the size of the thing, which resembles a big gizzard shad or a threadfin shad, and the burn and fast and go retrieve that's triggering those bigger fish to hit. It's not something you're going to get a bunch of bites on, but you know, there's 20 pound bags getting caught on this thing right now. You can drop it down, like I said, to 10 or 12 pound test line, and you can fish like drop offs on a TVA lake. You can fish points with it. You can get it down into a variety of depths with that. So the cool thing about the Big M 4.0 that I like over the other big giant square bills like the one that Strike King has is, if you can see in here, it's got this see the BBs, or actually they're tungsten balls. It's got this internal balancing system on the thing, which allows this thing to cast like a freaking mile. You can cast it a mile on 20 pound test line on a flipping stick, you know, so it's super castable, casts really good into the wind. It's got this really cool, unique rolling action on it. And most of the fish, when you get one to hit this, it's going to be in that 3 to 4 pound range at least. So the thing about this is when you're fishing these big square bills, it's all about getting in the right type of water under the right conditions. In order for a bass to hit a big crankbait like this in the summertime, you have to have the right set of conditions. And in the summertime, that means wind. There's been very few days that I've had much success on this unless I have wind in excess of like 15 miles an hour. But when you get that strong wind, especially from a strong southerly airflow, doesn't really matter what the temperatures are, doesn't really matter what the sky conditions are, but when you get those windy days, there's something about it activates those bass in that hot water, and they're a lot more susceptible to hitting these big oversized baits. But you will never get a bite on this bait, guys, unless you burn it. You have got to burn this thing at a fast stop and go retrieve. I usually point the rod tip straight at the bait and just reel it with a 7-to-1 ratio reel. You know, not like as fast as I can possibly crank it, but you want to burn it. You want this thing coming through the water, you know, deflecting off rocks, darting off rocks, and triggering that reaction to strike it with. That's the key. Now, these things are not easy to get, but one of the reasons I wanted to do this video on it is Baitworks has just got a bunch of these in stock, so you can get them right now at Baitworks. I'll include the link in the description here where you can order them. Great way to support the channel. And it's just another something to add to your shallow, not shallow, but to your summer arsenal. If you fish anywhere between 4 to 10 foot deep in the summertime of the year, give this Big M 4.0 a try, or some other big square bill, and it will definitely put some good fish in the boat for you guys. So anyway, I hope that helps you catch a few, and we'll check in later. See ya.